No one else can do what you do for me. Take me away from the pain I feel inside. I wanna be the one who I wanna be the one who you could depend on. Who yo, once again it's on back at you one more again. Real Kens TV and the House Light Kitchen Sinks. Now, before I get into this afternoon's video, if you will, understand that I'm the self-proclaimed Mr. 30 Minutes or Better. Merch coming soon. So anytime I drop a story, it's guaranteed to be 30 minutes or better. If you're on your way to work, you're at work, you don't feel like being there, as we so often don't. You're on your way home from work, you need to laugh, you need to cry. Perhaps you're trying to lay down and take a nap, or you're trying to go to sleep at night, depending on whatever time you're listening to or viewing this video, or you're just in the mood for a good old-fashioned true. Keyword being true penitentiary / life story / life experience. This is the channel for you. If you like your 8 to 10 to 12-minute videos, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But at Real Kids TV, it's 30 minutes or better. So with all that being said, with all that being wrapped up in one big old nutshell, that is, there is a message. Before I get into the story, y'all jump in the comment section and let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me know your city, your state, your set, your hood, whatever you may be representing. Let it be known. You know, there's a question that was posed to me, Real Kens TV at Yahoo. People send me questions all the time. Stories, questions. Some of them I'm able to get to. Some of them I'm not. But I try my best to get to all of them. As far as the stories that people want me to tell, narrate, however you want to put it. It was a question that was posed to me, Kens. I need you to answer this question and be unbiased as you possibly can. Should a woman, in your humble opinion, should a woman wait on a man when he ends up having to go to prison and do some time? That's a subjective question. Because there's a whole lot of, variables. There's a whole lot of what ifs. There's a whole lot of, for instance, how many times has he been to prison? What is he going to prison for? How long does he have to do in prison? How did he treat you since he's been out? See, there's so many different variations. It's hard to just pinpoint a direct answer because everything is depending on how things were prior to him going to prison or catching this case. I can give you a story. I can give you an example of why when you do wait on a man, when he goes to prison, it may not turn out to be the best possible scenario. But at the same time, everybody's not the same. Every story doesn't turn out this way. Take this thing back to, 10 years ago. Got an individual, man. Got an individual, Jake. Jake was a black dude. Got his money on the streets, man. Got his money out on the streets. Never really been caught up before. Actually, I take that back. He had been caught up one prior time, but he didn't have an extensive criminal history. Jake was doing big things out on the streets. He was really making that money. Jake was with a young lady, and they had been together, Ebony. They had been together for quite some time. See, when you live in that street life and you going to strip clubs and you dealing with different women, what have you, and everything is gonna be, nah, baby, it ain't nothing like it. It's just business. It's about this money, right? You want to continue to take these trips. You want to continue to drive this nice whip. You want to continue to live nice. You want to continue to get these bags and these purses, and I have to deal with these people, but it's nothing like that. Ebony had endured a lot in this relationship. They had been together for 7-8 years. And it was a whole lot of ups and downs. They had some good times, but they had a whole lot of bad times. Oftentimes, the bad times surrounded, just infidelity. And even though they weren't married, but just, the cheating ways that Jake had. Like I said, Jake was a black dude, a little bit darker than me. At the time, he was probably mid-30s. One prior, he had never been to prison or anything. I think they ended up giving him probation, and he completed the probation. Jake used to play basketball. He was pretty good in basketball. He wasn't that tall, but he wasn't that short either. So we just gonna say he was 5'11". We just gonna say for the sake of he was 5'11". Okay. Now, I understand that people are like kids. Every time I watch a video and you get to describing somebody, and when it comes to their height, they're always 5'11". Hey, that's something that you all have to. I don't have anything to do with that. Okay, the whole world is 5'11", in my opinion. At least at Real Kids TV. Merch coming soon. The whole world is 5'11". But at any rate, he was weighing in at about 180 pounds, good shape. You know what I'm saying? Just clean cut, smooth dude or whatever. And he loved the ladies. Yeah, he loved his woman. He loved Ebony, but he loved the ladies. He loved getting that street money, that fast money, man. One day he evidently he had it sold to an undercover, an informant. And it was a federal informant. Well, if you sell to a federal informant, 9 times out of 10, when they do get you, your case is gonna be a federal case. Feds come in, kick the door in. They kick the door in, they looking for the work or whatever. They ended up finding it. One of the main things, the main rules, people always tell you, do not, if you live in a certain place, which we all live somewhere, don't have your work and your money and your guns, and don't have everything there where you sleep at. Yeah, people will tell you all day long that they don't do that, but they really do it. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people do, because they don't trust to have it anywhere else. They kick the door in. They find about 60, 70,000 in cash. They find a few pounds of weed, nothing major. They find 6, 7 ounces, not terribly, major or what have you, but it was one problem. They found a gun, firearm. That's where the problem really, really came in, because if they just found the money and they found the 6 or 7 ounces, okay, not that much time he's facing. But being that they found the firearm, that's a real, real problem. Not to mention that he had already sold to an undercover. Take him into custody. Immediately, the feds already picked the case up just like that. So he's in federal custody. Ebony, she's doing everything she can do to try to help the situation. They're talking in code. You in the feds, most of the time you're not going to get a bond. She's trying to take the firearm charge, because being that Jake was already a felon, it's felon in possession of a firearm. Feds been picking up cases like crazy. If you already a felon, you get caught with a firearm. It don't even matter if you wasn't using it. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. If you around it, it's in your immediate vicinity, and it's just you and no one else can be like, nah, that's mine. And guess what? It's yours. Ebony was trying to take the case, but they weren't allowing that. They knew that she was trying to take the case for him, and ultimately he had to bite the bullet. He ended up getting a 15-year prison sentence. When the feds, you get 15, you're going to do 12. You're going to do roughly 12 years. So he takes his charge. He don't want to take a risk of going to trial, but you go try to take that to trial with the feds. Oh, man, you getting forever. A couple of forevers. I'm talking about forever. Yeah, he's going to get a couple of forevers, man. Don't play with them feds like that. So he takes the 15-year sentence. Now, that's after he sat in the county fighting his case for about 1.5 years. He fought it for about 1.5 years, meaning that he got another 10.5 years to do. Y'all rock with me, man. Ebony, she's trying to do everything that she can do to just rock with him, to ride with him. After all, this is the person that, I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is the person that always looked out for me and made sure that I was good. But as time went on, she started to find out more and more about what Jake was doing out here on these streets, man. Finding out about this female, finding out about that female. Found out that he had a baby that she had no clue that even existed. She didn't like that whatsoever. As to be expected. Who would? So the relationship took a turn for the worst. She started doing her. She was still talking to him and supporting him, but at the same time, she was still doing her, out on the streets or whatever. He ended up getting closer to home. A lot of times in the feds, they're gonna send you, I don't know, there's no telling where you'll end up at in the feds, Timbuktu somewhere. So being that I'm in Kentucky, right, a lot of times people end up going to West Virginia. That's the closest that you're gonna get. But they have a facility that's right here in town, but it's a medical facility, and you really have to have something wrong with you or work your magic to get there. Not sure exactly what Jake did, but he worked his magic to get to the medical facility right here in town. Now, this is after doing about 7, 8 years. Again, Ebony, she's doing her, but yet she's still maintaining a relationship with Jake. They had a kid together. A couple more years passes that he's been incarcerated. So now he's about 10 years in. You see the light. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. 2 more years and shoot, baby, I'm home. Possibly even earlier, because they got like little drug classes and things like that you can take in the Fed. So he might end up getting to come home just a tad bit early. Got to understand, he's in his backyard. They decided to work things out. She's coming to see him. Everything seems to be beautiful. One day, he pops the question, "Hey, baby, I understand that I've done some things. I understand that it took a whole lot for you to trust me, and it's gonna take a whole lot more for you to continue to trust me in the future. And I deserve everything that I got. I just got caught up in the streets. I offer no excuses. I'm giving you a reason, but it's not an excuse. I love you. I love our child. I love your kids. I love everything about you, baby. Will you marry me? Will you marry me, baby?" She says yes. So they end up getting married while he's incarcerated. Life is beautiful. Got less than 2 years to get out. My husband will be home. That's what she's thinking. He's thinking, okay, my baby, she's back. I got her back in my corner. But at the same time, that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for Jake. Jake ended up reaching out. See, they got cell phones in the pen, man. You see what I'm saying? So dudes is on cell phones, and I'm not just getting on here spilling the beans. Everybody knows they got cell phones in the pen, in the feds, whatever. They be on social media. Half the time they tell on themselves. They recording these, taking, selfies and videos. Check this out. I'm in the motherfucking pen, man. Y'all check. My inmate number is 14876. So y'all holler at me, man. Send me. You know what I'm saying? Half the time they tell on themselves. He reaches out. He gets in touch with Keisha. Keisha was on one of his old flames. Keisha was one of those individuals that really, really liked Jake, but Jake just, he never had time to really give her time. And she knew that he was never going to settle down. So they just kind of, went their separate ways. They get to talking or whatever. She's so thrilled to hear from Jake. There's only one thing. Keisha didn't live in the same city, so it was a good thing for Jake. But Jake never divulged that information. Jake never told Keisha about wifey, Ebony. So the two of them, they became close. Talked every day on the phone. Keisha began to send him money. Make sure that he, had minutes on his phone or whatever. Eventually, she ended up being added to Jake's visitation list. See, in jail, you can't just go and visit nobody, like not in prison. You have to fill out a consent form, basically, with your name, social security number, have you ever been in trouble before, any felonies, and they do a background check on you. Pass the background check, certain months of the year, you can be added onto the visitation list. Keisha gets added onto the visitation list, and it's a beautiful thing. She's coming to see him on a regular basis. She's showing up, even though she lived 2 hours away, a good 2 hours away. She's showing up every week. Every weekend, she didn't miss a visit. One of those things to where Jake was able to juggle between the two. When I say juggle, okay, wifey would come. Let's just say visits are from 9 to 3. He'd have his wife get there about 10 o'clock. She's staying till about 12. He's cutting it close. She's staying till about 12, 12:15. Then she leaves. 12:45, 1 o'clock. Keisha comes and she stays until 3 o'clock. This was every single weekend. Both of them was fine too. Now I wasn't in the feds, but I've seen pictures. So I wasn't in the feds with Jake. But I know Jake. Fine, both of them, man. Ebony and Keisha, both of them was just fine, man. Man, he's doing this thing right here. I never really understood why, and I don't understand why guys, I guess sometimes, man, we just want our cake and we want to eat it too. Women do too as well, but I would say it's predominantly guys from my experience, or, as far as what I've been able to hear and witness. And I just thought to myself, like, okay, if Ebony is back in your corner, it's your wife, she married you while you incarcerated, why are you risking all of that to deal with Keisha? Yeah, Keisha's a nice young lady. Keisha had 4 kids. None of them were by Jake. He's leading her to believe that he's going to be with her when he gets out of jail. This woman got 4 kids and you accepting money from her. You're asking her for money. She's putting $50, $60 a week on your account just so that you can go to commissary and live well. Wifey's already doing big things for you. She's putting $70, $80, $100 a week on your account. It's not like you in there starving. It's not like you in there going without. Got a cell phone, got your partners, they add money, so you straight. But you want to appear to be the man. You want to, like I said, you want your cake and you want to eat it too. So for 2 years, you string Keisha along, making her think she's going to be the one. When you get out, y'all going to be a family, and, you all are ultimately going to be together, and you love her, she loves you. Well, she loved you. The problem is you didn't love her. You just love what she could do for you. Oftentimes you see guys, I've seen this happen all the time in prison. Dudes that have a rider, I'm talking, they'll have somebody that's just loves they dirty draws, man, to drink they bath water. Not gonna miss a beat, not gonna miss a visit. But that's not enough. Because if they can get 1 or 2 more to come and visit, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna add them to their visitation list, and they're gonna tell their girl, hey baby, don't come this weekend or don't come at this time, because they make us work these bullshit jobs, and I gotta work this weekend, so I'm not gonna be, all that type of stuff that guys are gonna say to certain guys rather is gonna say to their women, because they trying to juggle, they trying to, they're trying to maneuver in a room full of vultures. It's exactly what Jake was doing. That whole time, the remaining 2 years, it was never an issue. The two of them never ran across each other. Ebony had nothing to suspect. Keisha felt as though she was the only one, based on the fact of, what Jake was telling her. Baby, you the only one. I don't have anybody else out here. Everybody else turned their back on me. All the people that, I did stuff for, they turned their back on me. The police, the feds, they took all my money. I don't have anything. I really need you. She got 4 kids. So guess what? The income tax time comes at $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. She's putting $1,500 on his books, $2,000 on his books. So he was really, really, taking advantage of this young lady's kindness. Like I said, it was a common thing that I've seen it all the time, man. I would see that all the time while I was incarcerated. Dudes had no intentions upon being with this lady, but they're going to say and do what they need to do and say while they're inside. I mind my business. See no evil, hear no evil when you're locked up. So, hey, I don't got nothing to do with that. That noise you all hear is raining. It's been raining here for the last, week or so. So, try not to let that stress you. And as I mentioned, she rides, the last 2 years, and he gets out. She's 2 hours away. She's still sending him money. He's in a halfway house. When you get out of the feds, you go to the halfway house for maybe 4, 5, 6 months before you actually able to go home. He's trying to figure out, how am I going to break this thing off? I mean, she's loving him like she really, really loves him. It's just 10 years ago, so guess what? Social media is a major, force. It's prevalent. It's relevant. Social media. People's on social media just on a daily basis, man. Exposing people, business and relationships and, things of that nature. Y'all rock with me. Jake is trying to figure out a way, but he's still sliding down there to see her when he has an opportunity. Like once he got out of the halfway house, he's still sliding to go see her. Because like I said, she was fine. She got body. She was bad, to be honest. Yeah, she had 4 kids, but she was bad. So he's trying to figure out a way to kind of keep his distance, but he's still stringing her along because he didn't just totally cut her off. After about 6 months or so, she had been questioning him. She had been, suspicious or whatever. I mean, what's going on, man? Now, this is 6 months removed from the halfway house. So, actually, it's about 10 months to a year in which he's actually been out of custody. What's the deal? What you mean, baby? I mean, I can't never reach you when I call your phone. It's always going to voicemail. It just rings. I text you. You don't call back. I mean, you told me you're not on social media. I ended up finding you on social media. You're just not under your, do you have a woman? Is there something that I should know? Nah, baby, it ain't nothing like that. It's just, how it is when you first coming home. You trying to get yourself together. You trying to, yeah, I understand that. And I get that. But allow me to help you. The same way that I was helping you while you was inside, allow me to help you now. What you need from me. I need to know. I need to you go days and sometimes weeks and I don't hear anything from you whatsoever. But yet when you was incarcerated, if I didn't write you 1 week, you had a problem. Or if you called my phone and you couldn't reach me and I was asleep or I was doing something with the kids or I just didn't hear the phone ring, it was a problem. But now you're free and you go several days, sometimes weeks, and I don't hear anything from you. Like I said, if there's something that I need to know, just tell me. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. I'm not going to like it. I'll be hurt, but just tell me. Don't lie to me. Don't string me along. Nah, baby, it ain't nothing like it. I'm just, like I said, just trying to get on my feet, just trying to, Jake continues to string Keisha along for another 3 or 4 months. Keisha gets to the point to where she's sick and tired of it. She's pissed. Jake feels as though I have no choice but to tell her. Because if I don't, I understand that this is really, really about to go way, way left. Jake wasn't trying to lose his wife. Wifey was making $80,000, $90,000 a year. She's doing great on her job. She's back in the car. Back in the car is just, she's back on, on board. She's on the team. They married. He's trying to do right. But he's not trying hard enough because he's still dealing with Keisha over here. He finally tells Keisha, listen, baby, I haven't always been honest with you. I have been honest, but I just haven't told you everything. See, Ebony over here, we ended up getting married. Now, he didn't tell her the timeline, but he did tell her we ended up getting married, and, one thing led to the next. I didn't want to play with your heart. I was still in love with you. But, I mean, she's here. You kind of far away, and I should have told you, and I didn't. And I apologize. If there's any way you can forgive me, I understand if you don't want to deal with me anymore. It's totally my fault. He showed contrition. Now he want to, show contrition. But he should have done all these things early on. You did what? Nigga, you done went and got married? And you didn't even tell me? Heartbroken. Keisha's just, ultimately, she's crushed. As she should be. She goes on social media. She goes on Facebook. She becomes a friend of the wife. She doesn't say anything directly that would implicate Jake, but she started going live on Facebook and just talking about how dudes ain't shit. Dudes ain't this. Dudes ain't that. And essentially, she was telling their experience, their life story, history, whatever you want to, slice it and dice it as. But she just wasn't saying Jake's name. She would just get on Facebook and just go through these long live videos, these rants. She threatened to tell Jake, she threatened to tell Jake's wife, Ebony. Jake would always, smooth things over. He'd go down there and stay for a night. In the meanwhile, he's having to make up stories to wifey why he's going to be gone overnight. Yeah, baby, I got this, business opportunity. So now he's lying to his wife to go and appease this young lady that's 2 hours away. But yet she knew nothing of your situation when you initially, contacted her. So she's looked upon as the side chick, but at the same time, she didn't even know she was a side chick. She thought she was the one and only. things will be smooth for a couple weeks or whatever. Then she wants that time. See, women want that time, understandably. Yeah, you can go over and you knock them down. Y'all have sex. Y'all, have a great time. Y'all do the most. You see what I'm saying? But ultimately, when you get up and you leave and you go back to your wife or you go back to your girl, she's left there by herself. So although you all had a great time, sexually or whatever, no, she needs that time. She wants that time. She even tries to compromise with Jake. She tells Jake, she said, listen, I don't like it, but you can have 2 girlfriends. You can have 2 women. But I need my time. I need a couple days a week, man. I need a couple days a week. You can be with her the entire time. You can tell her about me. We can all come together and be together if that's what it is. But if not, cool. But I need my time. I need a couple days a week. Jake thought that was so dope. He thought that was like, man, she know about my wife, but yeah, she's telling me I can come over and she wants to cook for me. She wants to run my bath water. She wants to, ask me how my day went. She wants me to hold her at night. She wants me. But the problem is, man, I can't get away 2 days a week like that. I'm married. Not to mention, she lives 2 hours away. Jake finally decides, you know what? Despite what she might do, what she might say, I'm about to break this thing off, man. I just can't do it anymore. Jake goes to her house one day. He's talking to her. They ended up, it was supposed to just be a regular conversation, but you know how they go sometimes. Next thing you know, they in the bed, oh my God. Oh my God. That's all you hear. Oh, man. Afterwards, Jake is standing firm on, what he wants to do. And I'm going to break this thing off. And you just broke her off, but now you think you're just going to break this whole situation off. As to be expected, Keisha wasn't taking that too kindly at all. And I'm going to tell your wife, since you want to play with my heart, you want to play with you done been home all this time. I ain't never said a word. So now I'm going to tell your wife. Now I'm going to expose you. Now I'm going to let her know exactly what type of individual that she has and what she's dealing with. And you can't lie. You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. She got evidence. She got receipts, man. She got phone records. She got recordings. She done recorded him when he was asleep. She done recorded him, just throughout. She has so much evidence. It's insurmountable. There's nothing that he can say. Yeah, he can deny it, but I mean, I clearly have you on video right here. So what, you can't deny this. Jake was a smooth, laid-back dude, as I've already mentioned, but it's kind of put him over the top right there. You gonna do what? You gonna tell my wife? You gonna tell my wife? Jake's enraged, man. Although Jake was still on federal supervision, although Jake was not to be caught around any firearms, Jake kept that thing on him everywhere he went. See, Jake had began to indulge back in the game again, just he didn't tell wife, he kept it under wraps. You got a lot of dudes, man, that's they philosophy, man. I'd rather get caught with it than without it. You run up on no limit, you better be bout it. I never tuck my tank in food, I'm never running. I don't care if it's me against a motherfucking 100. That was Jake's perspective, point of view, man. I'm gonna keep it on me. I ain't trying to bother nobody. I ain't trying to, harm nobody, but it's a whole lot of haters out here, especially when I go out of town. And this was in Indiana, and this part of it was in Gary, Indiana. Part of Indiana is not shout out to Gary, Indiana. Shout out to the whole Indiana, Indianapolis. Shout out New Albany, the whole Indiana. Indiana ain't the easiest state in certain areas. See what I'm saying? He's going to have that thing with him when he goes. They get to fighting or whatever, arguing. Jake don't put his hands on women or anything like that. But he ends up putting that thing out. You going to tell my wife what? Now, hold up. What did you going to tell my wife what? She wasn't backing down. Keisha, well, yeah, nigga, you heard me. I'm going to tell your wife everything, nigga. I got you recorded. I got this. I got that. Man, you been playing me this whole time? You been playing me? You been plotting this the whole time? Keisha's not backing down. She runs up on him. The two of them get to wrestling or whatever. Bam! Hits her like in the abdomen area. I don't even think that he really meant for the gun to go off. But at the same time, why are you even pulling a gun out on a woman, period? Man? So you can say all day, every day, you didn't mean for the gun to go off. But why are you pulling a gun out on a woman to scare her and intimidate her? Okay, you tell my wife this is what's gonna happen. Got no clue that Keisha was batted, and she was gonna run up on you, gun or not. Young lady had 4 kids, man. Boom, hits her. It's loud. He ends up covering his face up or whatever and leaves because he knows the neighbors heard it. It's an apartment. He ends up leaving. He goes back home, gets rid of the gun. It's the evidence. Gets rid of any sort of evidence on his end that he's been in communication with this young lady. And he takes her phone. He thinks as he left out of the house, he goes and grabs her phone. It's not going to do anything. If anything, it's going to make it look more suspicious. Everybody knows that people's phones are glued to their hands or whatever. So it's going to be one of the first things that the police are looking for. Where's her phone at? She's going to have family and friends. No, she always had her phone with her. Where's the phone at? They're going to look at the phone record, see that she's been in communication with this individual. Now you're a person of interest. You're a person of interest. Looking at the Facebook posts, social media rants that she was going on. Being that Jake had been around the law and been through the system a couple times, he's already known when they come and question me, man, I need an attorney. He had already jumped back in the game, so he made sure nothing that was in the house, no money, nothing that he could catch a case over. He had went and hired an attorney. He was getting his bread back up. Yeah, he had a little job, but that job wasn't nothing. He was getting his bread back up. He's sitting on some money at this point. He's sitting on, 80, 90, 100,000. Goes and retains an attorney. He knows that when they come, man, I ain't got nothing to say, as everybody should do. I don't got nothing to say, man. Talk to my lawyer. That's exactly what happened. People came, wanted to talk to him, speak to my attorney. Ultimately, they ended up charging him with the murder, because when he shot her, she didn't make it. She was unalive. She just, unfortunately, she didn't make it. Charged him with it. Ended up going to trial. Knocked his head off. Really, they spared him. They gave him 35 years. It's 35 years. He got to do 85% of that time, though. Plus, complete the little fed time that he had left, which wasn't much. 35 years. He's already in his 40s. So essentially, that's like a life sentence. 35-year sentence, you're going to do close to 30. On a violent charge, you're going to do 27, 28 years. Like I said, you're in your mid-40s at this point. What is that? In your 70s by the time you get out? It's essentially a life sentence. Mid-70s, 76, 77. All because he wanted to have his cake and eat it too. Had a woman that was really down with him, down for him. But it just wasn't enough. You go chasing waterfalls. You go chasing and dealing with other women because one just wasn't enough for you. Hopefully somebody takes heed to this message, because there's a lot of dudes out there. There's women like that as well. But in this particular scenario, I'm talking about the dudes. There's a lot of dudes out there to where one woman is just not enough for them. Man, I can't be faithful, man. I had a partner tell me one time, man, he's been married for 20 plus years. And I used to feel that way. I just can't be faithful, man. I just can't have just one woman. I got to have multiple. He said, let me ask you something. Now, this is coming from a person we used to run together and get women together, and, we did the same things. He said, let me ask you something, bro. Have you ever tried? And it really, really resonated with me. I really had to think about that. Damn, I never really tried. I always just was saying I can't be faithful, but I had never really put in an effort and tried to be faithful. And this was years ago. I'm a grown-ass man now. Like, if I'm with you, I'm with you. I ain't really with all that old cheating, but I was younger. And when he said that, it really, really made sense. You can't just be out here playing with people's hearts, playing with people's feelings, man. People would do something to you. When people say I blacked out, just because you may not have ever blacked out and you don't understand what that feels like because you never had to experience that, you have people that literally black out. You have people that for temporarily, they just lose it. And they'll do whatever to hurt you, harm you at the moment. And then as time goes on, they come back to, it's like they don't not even cognizant. They don't even really realize what they've done. Not using that as an excuse, but I'm just simply saying, man, stop playing with people's feelings, man. If you with somebody, be with that person. Do the best that you can do. Try to work things out. And if they don't work out, they let it be known, but don't run to the next person because somebody is always going to catch feelings, man. And you don't want to be in that situation to where you have an individual that's essentially blackmailing you or that's essentially threatening to expose you all situation when it didn't really need to be a situation whatsoever. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment, definitely share, subscribe to the Chiz Channel if you're not already subscribed, and be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Real Kens, why you been dropping so many videos lately? Guess what, man? YouTube don't want to, it doesn't seem as though they want to push my videos out. So guess what? I'm going to push them out my motherfucking self. And I'm going to be dropping videos. Some of them, a lot of them are going to be 30 minutes or better. Some of them might be 18, 19 minutes. Whatever it takes to get Real Kens out to the masses, to the people who understand and know that I exist. That's what it's going to take. I need y'all to definitely continue to like, comment, definitely share, because that's how YouTube works. When the more that YouTube sees engagement from the audience that's watching, the more they'll push your videos. If they don't really see a whole lot of comments, if they don't see a lot of likes, if they don't see a lot of shares, they just look at the video. It could be the bomb. It could be the best video, but YouTube doesn't go by that. They go by the analytics. They go by, okay, how are people engaging? And if you are not engaging, they're going to go to the next video in which people are engaging, man. But I appreciate all the support, man. Real Kens TV.